With the new Earth grids that have been anchored, which has taken actually thousands of years, but have been solidified over the last year, you have a chance to quantum leap through the portal, the 1111 portal. So it's always important to go back to the basics. And for the new listeners, as well as the old, remember you are divine. You are a divine master. You are co creating the new universe, and you want to connect up into the truth grids that have been anchored, which has been a whole lot of what us starseeds and light workers, way showers, walk-ins, you name it, timekeepers, time capsule holders. There are just so many of us why we are here, and we are anchoring the light. So learn more about, are you a light worker? Are you a starseed? Are you a walk-in? Feel comfortable with this information. Again, remember, although I was trained as a clinical psychologist and work with kids with cancer, I have done healings for decades. And I tried to bring this information to the forefront in the 90s, all the way to through 2006. I tried again in 2010 and have had so many stops and starts. But the time is now. So the more you can expand your mind, the more you can let go of ego thinking, the easier your ascension is going to be. So learn what the term synchronicity means. It's included in these groups, how to watch for signs. And most importantly, you can dissolve the matrix and rise above it yourself. No matter how slow the veil is being removed, which it is, and actually it's quickly dissolving, you have the power to change your life. I hope you enjoy these four. Thank you. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, beautiful light warriors, old souls, and evolving beings alike. Today is January 24th, 2023. January 24 is 124. If you add those numbers, it equals 7. And 2023 also equals 7. This is an incredibly powerful manifesting time. Whenever the number 7 shows up, it's actually a divine master number. And when you multiply that or put it to the power of 2, that's some incredible energy to harness. And I did laugh when I noticed my GoFundMe site had 3 sevens and 2 4s. The numerologists in here will absolutely understand what I'm saying. But the important thing to know is that, like all energy, it can be used for the power of light or for the power of dark. But we know those people listening here are certainly on the destiny of light. We're moving into higher frequencies and revelations, and we're literally pulling off the heaviness of the matrix veil to find our true selves. Today's message given to me was your power to harness and move into a more positive timeline and life is there for you. But you must ask, and you must know in your heart, not your head, that your deepest desires for your highest and best have already been answered. There is only one way to achieve this, and that is by going within to the master, your master. That is you. I want to take a minute to talk about this because what we don't realize as humans is that the minute we are born and we come into this life on earth, all our memories are removed from us. Now, there are children today who are karma free, and those memories are arriving with them. So that's a wonderful, wonderful new frequency the earth is holding. But your birthright to freedom, to higher frequencies, to being the master, to co-creating your universe, that is taken from you because you allow the matrix to con you into giving away your power. And I have new information coming in and some programs I'm putting together to help you understand exactly how that works. But in the meantime, if you have tried things in the past that have not worked, and if you feel as though certain paths were removed from you or taken from you so that you can't shine your light or do what you love, go back and take a look at that, because there are actually new energies on the planet. This is a time for bringing in new light, going back and co-creating and pulling out of your heart center what you really want to do. This is not the life any longer that you go to a job that you hate from 9 to 5, playing in the old systems. Now, I understand at points we all have to play in the matrix for a few reasons. One, it teaches you how to become stronger. It also shows you ways you do not want to go. And it helps you start to define what it is that you really want out of your life. And that's the purpose for you being here. And the star seeds that come in may be feeling just incredibly lost at this point. They may be feeling like, I just can't figure out what I'm doing. Why do I, for the first time, feel depressed or lost or scared or any of these other emotions? And that's simply because you're being remade. Your light is getting stronger. You're breaking even more boundaries, and just go with it. Go with the flow. Don't analyze it too much. Go into your heart. Go within, because that's where all the answers are. The answers are not with me or some guru or some person that arrives from another planet or some political person who's going to answer all of your questions. None of that is real. It's a form of an illusion. What is real is the power that you can harness within. We have been lied to. You do not realize that your true divine master is inside of you. And if you are on the planet right now, planet Earth, listening to this message, you were actually chosen out of a huge universe to come and experience this world right now. I will describe this in more detail, especially for individuals who are listening that this is all new for. You've been in the system for a long time. You knew something was off, but you might not have really realized how seriously off things are, and you want to learn more. Now, in this beautiful time, you are getting help from the universe and from everywhere, something we've never seen before. And this is why it's so exciting and so wonderful that you can experience it, because you have on one side of you the powers of the universe with the star seeds bringing and holding their light, changing the grids, creating new ley lines, a whole new world for you to live in, cutting all the ties to the old matrix that is falling away. The wanderers, the walk-ins, all the beautiful light beings who are here. We are pushing and pumping through light like you would not believe. On the other side, you have all the newbies coming in, the newborns, not newly awakened. Those are happening as well. But the newborn, the children, the autists, all of the ones who are coming in who are either karma free or, again, they have the upgraded DNA skills so that they will not have to work through the matrix the way we have. So imagine yourself. Universe is sending you love. Starseed wanderers, light workers, all of those crew are sending you love. And all the new beings that are coming in are sending you love. You finally, if you choose, can break free. If you desire it, step into your new life. If you want, let go of pain, let go of failures, let go of the past, and go within. Going into your heart, getting out of the ego mind will move you almost instantaneously into a new life. So I just want to encourage everyone, if you are at a roadblock, if it seems as though everything has fallen from under you, and you will hear in my Who Am I video all the things that have been taken from me, actually not all, most of the things that have taken from me, you will find that those roadblocks, as I believe the Chinese say, are actually, those crisis points are opportunities, and you are being pushed into a new direction. And I want you to remember, harness your divine master. It is your birthright. Go within, start to find out what you really like. What brings you joy? What is fun? What would you rather be doing? If you could create a whole new life now and throw out the rest, what would you actually do? You need to have that talk with yourself. And when you walk in the light, always remember that no man, no darkness, no institution can come against you. That's my message for today. I send you so much love on your healing journey in growth. Love you. Hello, beautiful evolving beings. Today I'm going to speak about the difference between a light worker and a starseed. And I'm doing it in relation to knowledge that, of course, would not be shared in professional manuals. Psychologists, psychiatrists, medical professionals, they are trained to work through a system and to define an individual by labeling them. This is how insurance companies pay the therapists. Now, of course, there are beautiful professionals out there who just happen to be light workers who are breaking through the system. And if you're listening to this message, please keep going. Don't give up and don't get stopped by the system, because we need all hands on deck right now. So you just keep going. When I talk today about the light worker versus the starseed, please understand that this is my personal understanding and take of what I have learned. And because I am an actual starseed, I obviously know a little bit more about that. So, not one light worker or starseed, wanderer, walk-in, grid worker, ley line changer, whatever you call them, indigo, not one is better than the other. We each have certain abilities. And those abilities are abilities that one taps into at different points in their lives. And our strengths can become your strengths if that's something you need at the time. Sometimes you don't need us. Sometimes you need something else, and that's just fine. So I really do hate labels because they are so limiting. And right here in this group, we're all about expanding, living, loving, having fun, no boxes, no getting put in boxes. But as your mind is trying to catch up in the matrix to move beyond into the real life out there, the higher dimensions, sometimes it helps just to know some of the differences that happen. So again, this is personal. So light workers come here, they really come to incarnate, to hold light, exactly as it said. And they inspire us, whether it's through their writing or their songs or their music. They teach us, they heal us. They have such massive amounts of light and love. They are truly some of your best therapists. They can be male, they can be female, But they all have this general, beautiful, compassionate, heart-centered, loving, motherly female in the most positive way energy. So they can be your healers, your card readers, your Reiki masters, the ones who do quantum healing techniques. Um, they come in all shapes and sizes and all have different abilities. Some use tools like a tarot deck, some use tools like divination, and others are simply able to tap into their higher selves, or they're able to tap into sources on the other side, whether they are deceased loved ones or beings from other realities, other dimensions. And light workers are so very sensitive and so very empathic. If you've ever been turned around to and somebody has said to you, "Oh, you're just way too sensitive," well, embrace that. What a beautiful gift. Honor it. It's so wonderful. But of course, having that much sensitivity, being able to pick up and read people and knowing what's going on in an environment, like in a room before you even walk in, is hard on our nervous system. And so light workers often find themselves alone, anxious. They have a lot of self-doubt because everything that the world seems to be mirroring back to them is not great. And therefore, they have to still shine the light in the midst of so much darkness. But that's what you came here to do. And what a gift you are to the universe. So I thank you, all the light workers who are out there. Now, starseeds are a little different. But again, this is labeling. You come to this planet with a mission. So whether I was born in the United States or whether I was born in Africa because my mission was to be in Africa does not matter. By the way, a huge shout out to Africa. I miss you. I enjoyed you so much, and I can't wait to go back. But star seeds literally come from a different galactic system. So yes, we hold the light very, very strongly. We have so many of the qualities that the light workers have. But we tend to be more restless, more striving, more driven. We can be a bulldozer if we're not careful. And when we finish one mission or one situation, we are literally off to another. This is the reason why sometimes light workers make way better long-term healers, I'm going to say, in the sense of running a practice, growing a group, bringing people along, sharing their love, whether again it's through, it could be music, it could be dance, it could be writings, it does not matter. Whereas that starseed, they come in, they may not have incarnated on Earth before. And what they feel is this incredible sense of purpose that doesn't let them rest. They come in very young, being completely fascinated by pyramids and Egypt and gods, Greek gods, symbols, signs, synchronicities, sacred geometry. They look to the stars every day because they're so homesick and they don't get why. But that strong, advanced galactic warrior spirit, no matter what they're doing, is what makes them so restless. So you'll find starseeds have a very hard time with just sitting still. For example, there are people who can go and just happily go to, let's say, a party and play cards and games and have fun and do all of this. And the starseed will go, they'll have a lot of fun, but the whole time they're sitting there going, why am I doing this? These are cards. Why? I don't get it. What is my mission? What is the purpose for me being here at this second? So it creates an odd scenario that often makes starseeds loners. Again, because they are constantly working on their mission. Whether you know what your mission is or not, you are constantly looking for a better way to share and enlighten as many people as you possibly can in the situation that you're in. And that's because there is some hidden deep knowledge within you that you want to share, but nobody around you seems to want to hear it. There are far less starseeds in the universe at this moment than there are light workers. That's not a good or a bad thing. I have heard a number of around 100,000. I do not know if that is true or not. But if you're feeling really separated or alone, you're absolutely in love with pyramids and sacred geometry and quantum healing, and you absolutely know that things that you're told from a young age are just completely not true, you could be a starseed. You are also very empathetic, and we are also super sensitive. We can pick up on information in so many different places. So what happens is, not only can you go into a room and read the room, but if you focused, you would be able to pick up on the energy and where that person came from, what they were doing before they arrived. And if you wanted to, if you needed information about other individuals and what they are or not doing, you can literally hop in, pick up the energy, get an overall idea of the scenario, and hop out. Caution, 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 caution. So we also, all of us, the light workers, the starseeds, are very telepathic because we understand that from where we came from, we literally didn't use words to communicate. Words are unbelievably limiting, and I have a video coming up on that. And you want to be careful because words are also trappings, they're spells. So when you start to work with a highly evolved light worker, some of the most phenomenal ones are ones who actually can tap into something called light language. This puts fear into some people because the first thing that people think of, having been programmed by society, is, oh no, the person is channeling something wrong. Oh no, is this light language? Or is this something negative that could be speaking in tongues? Again, always drop into your heart. Your heart will tell you if it makes you feel good. As a matter of fact, it might make you burst out laughing because it is so different from anything that you've ever seen or heard. And you're like, wow, I can't believe that person is brave enough to do that. But there are healing tones, which is why in light language, a lot of times you have some clicking and some higher vibrations and some amazing dual vocal tones that most humans wouldn't realize they can do with their vocal cords. So I just want you to expand your mind. All of these light workers, starseeds, wanderers, walk-ins, again, indigos, the new beings, new children coming in without karma, with upgraded DNA, they're here to help you. They are here to help you heal, move beyond limits, move beyond labels, so that you can rise up to be the best person you can possibly be. And in becoming your best and taking responsibility for your own self-growth, we are alleviating the need, little by little, for others to go through the suffering that we have gone through so that we can walk forward into a new and beautiful, wonderful earth. And in that wonderful earth, you will often find light workers and starseeds alike who are unbelievably visionary. We get dreams of the future, we get glimpses, we see different timelines. So many things can happen. So, what I'm really asking of you is that if you have a therapist that you're working with now that you adore, perhaps, or a medical professional, but they're not quite filling that hole, something isn't quite working for you, please go out and find yourself a light worker, a starseed, a wanderer, a walk-in. Right now, there are more incarnated on this planet than ever before. And we are all working to help those move beyond the duality of the matrix. If you like this message, don't forget to like, subscribe, and share. My information, if you need to know more about me, the best is who am I and why speak now. And I have other videos coming up. Why do good things happen to bad people? Finally answered. Judgment versus discernment. A whole bunch of information. So please get the message out. I am on Buzzsprout now. I'm working on memberships. So come join me. Let me know what your questions are. And have just an absolutely beautiful day. Give yourself all the love you need. Give yourself a hug for trying. You are moving forward. The universe is moving forward. And if you just ask the universe for more help, it will keep flowing in. And that's probably why you listen to this message. Thank you. Love you. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, beautiful light warriors, old souls, and evolving beings. Today I'm going to talk a little bit about songs, signs, and synchronicities, and ask you, are you listening? Because our beautiful world is full of the angels and higher level beings just trying to push us in a direction that makes our soul sing, that makes us the happiest we've ever been. But the question is, you actually have to pay attention. So something came to mind while I was walking yesterday, and I was reminded of an eerie night I had a few years ago, where I literally heard this song in my head. And I'm going to do it even though I haven't warmed up my vocal cords or anything like that. So I apologize, but I want you to get the point of what I heard. Any way the wind blows doesn't really matter to me. And it literally kept going over and over and over in my head. And when I woke up, I was like, what song is that? What is that? And I often get song lyrics or songs that I hear to clue me into something. And what had happened in the previous weeks is I had come into some information that just blew me away, but it really rocked me to my core and upset me. It was in reference to understanding how long Earth has been trapped in the matrix and somewhat of who's responsible for it. And that story is way too detailed and intense, and most people probably don't want to know. But it shook me to the core because it's when I started realizing that we are, in a sense, without realizing it, giving our power away and worshiping false idols. And we're getting information from these great beings that were either discussed in the Bible or elsewhere. And as we give that power away, we don't even realize that's what we're doing because we're trying so hard to find answers. So I kept hearing that song over and over, and I'm like, what do you mean any way the wind blows, nothing really matters anyway? I'm like, what do you mean nothing really matters? This just pulled the entire rug from underneath my foot because once again, as educated or as much as I know, in the 57 years, I thought I had a handle on how these things work, and now you're telling me it isn't like that. You're showing me how the matrix fell from the 13th dimension all the way down. No, I can't deal with it. I can't deal with it. I was really upset. And I was like, okay, you have to calm yourself down. So the next day, I am wandering along and I get a mess. I read something and it was channeled from another individual from the Palladians, of which I have huge connections to. And they literally said, nothing really matters. Nothing really matters. And I was like, how can you say nothing really matters? And of course, the song hauntingly comes back into my mind. And I'm like, wow, that's number 2. Nothing really matters. Okay, so why am I taking this so seriously? What has upset me? Ooh, I guess the ego is feeling betrayed or hurt because I don't have the knowledge that I think I had. And I had to talk myself through it. So I hop in the car and I'm driving down to a place where I get some water. And literally, there's no radio on in the car. And all of a sudden, the radio turns itself on and starts singing Queen at exactly the place where Freddie Mercury sings, any way the wind blows, nothing really matters to me. And then all of a sudden, they go into the beautiful Mama music. I was like, no way. You guys literally turned on my radio, which that's not the first time that's happened, but that was so bold. And it became the answer to me that I really have to let go of many, many, many things, because in the end, the little things don't matter, the day-to-day things don't matter. And being dragged from one windstorm to another windstorm is never the answer. That's why also being dragged from one follower or one person who seems to know it all to another person who seems to know it all, that will drive you crazy, which is why you must always, in the end, go within, take the information, of course, take the information into your heart, process it, and then let the answers unfold, because the answers will unfold in the way that's best for you. So do pay attention to the songs that play around you. Do pay attention to the signs and the synchronicities. Synchronicities are those things that happen that are just mathematically impossible. There's no way that could happen that way. The amount of synchronicities that happen in my life, all the way down to the places I end up going, even, quote, spontaneously. And I only found this out after a hard time. I think it was October. I ended up literally in a place where Mother Earth's ley lines needed light energy. I didn't know that's why I was going there. As a matter of fact, I was unbelievably uncomfortable, but I couldn't go anywhere else. I was there for a reason. I didn't know it. Another example of signs can be actually literally things that are dropped in front of you. A big one that most people know about, especially if they've dealt with death and dying or have lost a loved one, is the white feather or a feather floating or appearing. That's a huge sign. That's from your loved one. I've had scenarios where after both my parents died, I'm sorry, and I had to go to a certain place, I literally walked over. I was wondering if I should be there or not. I walked over these two pennies, both heads up. And then one synchronicity after another, after another, after another happened. And then later on the day, I was like, oh my goodness, they were giving me their 2 cents. I mean, you can't make this stuff up. And one of my very favorites, when I started to realize it was about, I started to get some of my memories back and know more galactic things and have books literally, a book was literally put right in front of me. It just literally appeared. And that book is the book that really got me understanding so much more. That was in 2015. And by 2017, more and more was coming to me. So I started to understand how much more I knew without realizing it, which is why when I wrote that book in 2009, it was so psychic because I had access to this information that most people, many people, do not have access to right away. So by 2019, 2020, as the world started to go even more crazy, there were things that I knew I would never, ever, ever, ever allow to be put into my body. You can guess. And I have been telling people about those hazards since 2009, but the world was obviously not ready to hear. The world may still not be ready, but I'm going to keep talking. So by this 2019, 2020 time, I really did understand more about why I was here and the fact that sometimes you're just here to hold light. It really doesn't matter what you do. Being is more important than anything else. Because if you're holding the light, you're holding a certain vibration wherever you go. You go in joy, you go in peace, no matter what's going on around you. And in that peace and holding the light, I started adding to my daily routine because, again, I dream those 4 to 6 cycles a night, and I'm pretty much open and on target all day long in the sense of working with my higher self and working with higher dimensional beings. And so I started in my little morning and evening routine. As I said, I do not consent to certain things. I would start holding light and moving light through veins in Mother Earth to help open up and change and resolve. And there were some really tough times of pulling out a whole bunch of negative energy, which I'll talk about in a different time frame. But one of the things that I was joking about was I'm shining my light so bright. Feathers are literally appearing from nowhere. And the people, the beings in the heavens, have to put on their sunglasses. And I started making a joke of it, right? Well, it was only like the second day. And I had gone for a walk. I went to get into my truck. And what was sitting right there at the door of my truck that had not been there when I had gone for the walk, but a pair of sunglasses and a huge, like 9-inch or longer white feather. Come on. What are the chances? So pay attention. Look at everything. If you need a question answered, then ask the universe to show you. And the universe is going to show you in any way that it possibly can. And I know we as humans are like, well, just friggin' tell me, because this is painful and difficult, and I just want the answers. But universal law states that they cannot interfere with our free will. Now, not so that means they can't just pop down and tell us, because there's no growth in that. But that does not mean that they can help give us little hints, little clues, little massaging, so that we start to wake up ourselves and move in the healthiest direction, in the highest vibration. So I hope you enjoyed those little stories, and please feel free to ask any questions at askdocstarseed@gmail.com. Don't forget to like, don't forget to subscribe, don't forget to share. There is a GoFundMe site, and because of technology, it's taking me a little longer to get the membership going. But in the meantime, have a beautiful, wonderful day. Listen to those signs. Love you. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, beautiful light warriors, old souls, and evolving beings. How are you doing with all that energy coming in? It has been an eventful last week for me, between power outages, it taking about an hour and a half for me to even start the computer. So I put a lot of projects on the side. But I wanted to share some fun things, because whenever portals start to happen, I pretty much try to take the day off and just go out in nature and see what I can see. Sometimes I plant little crystals next to trees, doing anything to help the vibration of the planet. But the other day I was out and I was looking up, and unfortunately, or fortunately, when I walk, I never take my phone with me. I also have very old equipment, so I have an iPhone 5. Oh, yes, thank heavens it still works. I'm also very affected by the electromagnetic frequencies from phones, so I can only hold one of the newer phones for a few seconds before all of a sudden I start to get really nauseous and flushed and just want to throw up. So that's not really an option for me. So, anyways, I was wandering along on a walk, and a plane went into a cloud, and I was watching to see it come out, and it never came out. The matrix is dissolving. And you know what? Let it go. Say goodbye. Thank it for having been here. We want to move on. We are moving into higher dimensions, and more of our powers are coming online. So many things are going to start to break down, which you will see so many things in mainstream media that make absolutely no sense and are completely created to force fear upon you. The most important thing to do is take a deep breath, know that you are watched over by so many guides, and that if you choose not to participate in the fear, energies are going to come in so strongly to help you lift up into your higher vibrations and start to feel better than you've ever felt in your entire life. Everything is happening. It's so exciting. The Schumann resonance is going crazy. We have KP indexes coming and going. You can check online and see others who report it on a daily basis. All of these are signs that we are moving forward into the higher dimensions. Now, not everybody is just going from 3D to 4D to 5D and up. Some who have come down to this planet are actually doing major jumps because they've already been through the sixth dimension or the eighth dimension. And so many are getting new talents online in the sense of what they are able to do, opening up their clairvoyance, getting so many of the skills that they were supposed to have because they are allowing the matrix to dissolve. But that's the point for today. You have to say goodbye to it, and you need to let go of the individuals who need to remain stuck in it, are committed to it, and want to live a lower dimensional life. Let them go. Move forward. The portals are open. There is so much incredible galactic news, especially related to successes of clearing energies at major portal sections, all the way up and through to how the Matrix controlled Orion, the pyramids, so many other ley lines, which is way too complicated to get in here at this moment. But the fact is, know in your heart that the world and the higher vibrations are opening up, and do everything you can on a daily basis to say, I'm here. I accept the higher vibrations. I'm going. I'm coming. Come on. I'm going to keep walking. I'm going to walk away from everything that doesn't serve me, and I am going to empower myself. I'm going to give myself the love and the time that I need, even if I feel lost, even if I don't know what I'm doing, and I'm going to keep moving on. And that's my little short encouragement for you today. Love you.